Hello, beautiful people. My name is Davi. I'm joined by Abe and Charlie. Welcome back to another Tony Tuesday.
How you doing?
And for our viewers and listeners, we hope you guys are doing well. Just a quick heads up, this episode is also available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, specifically the discussion portion of the show.
If you want to watch it ad-free and uncut, become a member here on YouTube or join us on Patreon. The link is in the description. Both are $5 a month. You have to have your own copy of the episode. We will give you a countdown and the time code, and you can watch the full thing with us.
And y'all, 3 more episodes left. So please, y'all, don't forget to leave a big thumbs up on this video. And also, if you're new here, please consider subscribing, hitting that notification bell so that you can be notified for when we have a new upload. Babe and Charlie, like I said, 3 more episodes left.
3 more episodes to go. I'm ready to wrap this up and see what the conclusion is, because it's been a long time coming. We've been doing this for what, like a year and a half?
I think almost 2 years, yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, it's going to be bittersweet, I think. Once we do get to the end, because it's been a hell of a ride. But
Let's hope it pays off.
Yeah.
Like, I think it'll be interesting for us as people who didn't binge the show,
right,
to see how we feel at the end of all of it. But it's starting to feel like Tony's House of Cards starting to come down a little bit.
Yeah.
At least in the personal side of things, his relationship with Chris and how evil that whole situation felt.
Right.
There's a lot still, I feel like, to uncover in the last 3 episodes for it to be satisfying. So I'm curious on the pacing of all of this and how it's going to go. Mm-hmm. And I'm curious how many like callbacks to things that have happened in the past that we're going to see. But it should be interesting. Should be good.
Before we get into this episode, Abe, can you please read our comments from our previous Tony Tuesday?
Sure can. First one comes from Darth856, and it says, "The most disturbing part for me is not that he kills Chris. That can almost be excused. It's how he feels about it that is truly unsettling. It's very telling that Tony can only be 100% honest about his feelings in a dream. He knows that the people around him, even hardened mobsters, would be horrified if he told them how he felt." Yeah, 100%. I think that one's referring to how before he goes to see Dr. Melfi, he basically like confesses all of his crimes.
In the dream.
But when he goes and sees her, it's a completely different tune. Next one comes from Wide Long Faces, and it says, "This is always the episode that cements Tony as a stone-cold killer. He does horrible things before this, but Gandolfini's lifeless expression as he chokes Christopher is chilling. Tony isn't just a narcissist, he's utterly without remorse. I never see the character the same way from this point on." I think that's very intentional, yeah. It almost felt, I was talking to you guys about it, the death almost felt a little bit like anticlimactic, but I almost feel like that's the purpose of it, is like it's just another person that he needs to throw out of his way to be able to continue living his life. Throw Christopher out of the way because he's a nuisance, right?
Feels like everyone is disposable.
Exactly.
Everyone's replaceable.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Besides him.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. And the last one here comes from Tristan Summerall. And it says, "I feel like the whole last half of the episode in Vegas is Tony coming to the realization that in his life, if he plays the part of the bad guy, no regret or sympathy for others around him, he wins. He kills his nephew, he wins. Also, the loss of his humanity is shown with the devil images in the casino." I think we did see a couple of like devil's symbolism and things like that in the casino. And it did feel eerily evil and pointed towards Tony a little bit.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think the casino too is also a big representation of like, you know, he killed a man that he saw as a liability because of his addiction, and here Tony is like giving in to his number one addiction, which is gambling.
Yeah.
And he's trying all the drugs and stuff too.
Yeah, 100%.
So hypocritical AF, but
Yep.
All right, with that being said, the second coming.
Have you guys watched anything else that has James Gandolfini in it?
No.
Neither have I. But I feel like when I eventually do,
I think it's going to be really hard to not think of Tony Soprano.
yeah,
I've seen him on an SNL skit playing Tony Soprano, essentially. He strikes me though as somebody that like I would love to see in like a theater production, like a Broadway production. I feel like he'd be awesome.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? He just has like this presence, like an aura that I feel like would really translate well to like a theater. People have been raving about seeing Denzel and Jake Gyllenhaal on Broadway. Recently. I think it's Othello that they've been doing. And
I believe so, yeah.
there was this one tweet that I saw where somebody was like, "I don't know what it's like to see MJ hit a game winner or anything like that, but like I feel like me watching Denzel on Broadway is something like that." Well, that's pretty crazy.
Wow. Van Patten's directing this episode.
Asbestos.
Oh.
Yeah, we ended the episode with them just dumping it into the water. Now they're dumping it to the side of the road too.
It's crazy.
Or just right by the water.
They dumped it in the water.
No, they did. But this looks like other locations they might be spreading it out through.
The throwback. Me riding dirty. Hey, at least he put on a banger, bro. Chill out.
Tony's not gonna like it though.
That song had a chokehold on pop culture for a hot second.
Package postmarked Las Vegas.
Oh, yikes.
Oh, Baum and Mercier.
Got her gift.
Oh my God, this is so beautiful.
I had it engraved.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he always gets her a gift when he goes and cheats on her.
Yep, it's true.
You are my life, love T.
They couldn't fit Tony.
I believe that. I don't know what it's for.
Well, like I said, I was sorry I had to go out to Vegas when I did.
Once you explained you had to take care of Christopher's business interests, God knows Kelly will need the money. The baby.
Now the guilt comes. So remember, this is the same responsibilities that he was talking about when they were considering whacking Vito. He's like, oh, he's gonna leave a children, leave a wife.
Yep.
Didn't think that one through, did you, Tony?
No, but Vito was also his highest earner. That's why he was justifying that.
Right.
Ecuadorians. Bunch of them Polacks.
How come they ain't wearing their spacesuits?
That's a union rule. If I couldn't run this job without that fucking contract, ain't none of us gonna make any real scratch.
You don't got an envelope?
Bit sloppy, right? Just handing out fat water cash.
Did you try to stop the beating?
I'm one individual. What could I do? I know kids on Lexapro say it's great, and I still feel like shit. Why can't I catch a fucking break?
Your classes, how are you enjoying those?
English is boring, and the other one's kind of interesting, but that's pretty depressing.
The Israeli-Palestinian conflict.
People blowing each other up because their God says they're allowed to live in a certain patch of fucking sand, and other people's gods say they're supposed to live there. Maybe I shouldn't have taken it.
You seem to be taking it all personally. Have you considered writing about your experience with the Somali boy? A short story, perhaps?
Why would I do that?
It might help clarify your feelings.
I was watching CNN, this story about these kids in some Iraqi hospital. How the burn unit doesn't have the right medicine or something. Then they show this story about some mall in Minnesota. These gigantic fat people buying stuff and eating all this shit.
It's the plot of Wall-E.
You should see our house. The stupid coffee maker they got. Media room. Then there's Blanca. Her kid hardly talks. She can't afford to send him to a decent school.
You think your feelings about Blanca in any way relate to this African boy?
She's not black. I mean, she's pretty tan.
Bro.
It's because of genius, man.
Man asked about his feelings and he went to the physical.
He was trying to sum up, like, this guilt of privilege that he has.
Yeah.
How was your trip?
Great.
Yeah?
No business, too. Christopher shit.
Yep.
Fucking guys out there owe them money.
Yeah, sure they did.
Little Carmine took it on a cleaver set. We had it framed.
We did peyote. Come on.
Really? Why we did mushrooms once? Stuffed mushrooms, a whole fucking platter. I did X once. It was incredible.
Oh, yeah, you kidding? Off the fucking charts. You won't believe it.
Really?
And the sun.
Yeah, I did feel like he had, like, a little enlightenment.
Yeah. He's like, I get it.
He's really having a Paul Atreides moment, huh? Charlie, you're right.
I got dosed with acid once, back at 68. I was with your dad and them at the Copa. The BOAC store just put it in my drink. Jerry Vale started singing, and I look over. Your Uncle June's got a laser beam shooting out his eyes.
I used to love that house, but now it's so big, especially at night.
Well, you're afraid, all you gotta do is call, right? 2 minutes, I'll be over.
I know. Thank you. Been so great, both of you.
I still feel like he might make a play at her or something.
I felt a little weird about that.
Oh my gosh, it's so...
Ever since last episode when we snuck a peek at her breastfeeding.
I made your favorite, steak pizzaiole.
You know they spray virus on beef rather than clean the rat shit out of the slaughterhouses?
What is this now?
Jesus Christ.
In the FDA, they approved a virus spray because it kills a similar bacteria found on meat.
Good thing, then.
For the meat packers. The fucking god of the bottom line.
All right, that's enough. We're trying to eat here, and you're upsetting people that have been through a tragedy.
Fine. Bury your head in the sand.
How about I bury yours in that fucking wall instead?
Tony.
20 years he won't crack a book. All of a sudden, he's the world's foremost authority.
Well, at least he's getting an education.
And education's help you get a better job.
Well, he's actually reading. This can't be bad.
So's you.
I feel like the more information he's digesting, the more depressed he's getting.
Yeah, there's actual correlation to that.
No, yeah, of course.
The more intelligent you are, the least likely to be happy you are.
Not only just that, if this was made today, my God, cell phones, social media.
Well, all about it, real shadows of the indignant desert birds. And what rough beast, its hour come round at last, slouches toward Bethlehem to be born.
Who was he reading?
He was reading what they were teaching in that class.
Second Coming.
Yeah.
This microbe of mine, from Pakistan.
Still?
I'd like to show you some pictures. These are gentlemen?
That's them. What?
Don't know. Financing, maybe.
Honestly, I'm not even sure we still have him in the country.
Damn. Are they kind of just telling him, like, your info is useless to
I don't know.
The other thing, this asbestos. I thought about your offer. What do you say to 15%, plus we forget about the balance, what you owe me on the vitamin truck?
First off, it wasn't an offer. It's my position, 25%.
Oof.
That's it?
What else would you like me to say?
I come here in good faith. I make a reasonable counter.
Which I considered and rejected.
Do we need to talk in private?
For what?
Okay, then, in front of everybody.
No.
When you were sick in the hospital, we talked. We shared an understanding about life.
This is business, Anthony.
Yeah, I know. But I'm talking to you here on a human level. There's a limit, Phil. Come on. The point where business bleeds into other shit. Feelings make things financially unfeasible.
Charles Schwab over here.
So that's it. No leeway, no compromise, just stupid fucking jokes.
You want compromise? How's this? 20 years in the can. I wanted manicotti. I compromised. I ate grilled cheese off the radiator instead.
Jeez.
I wanted to a woman, but I compromised. I jacked off in a tissue. You see where I'm going?
Yeah.
Butch, Coco, did anybody call you guys?
About what?
Don't tell me the checks are late. There ain't any checks.
What you talking about?
Silvio, Mr. Sopranos guy, came by this morning.
Said to pull your jobs.
Whoa.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, guys. Somebody really should have called you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, Jesus!
Oh, taking it out on that guy, bro.
Come on, that's not his fault. Oh, yeah? Maybe it's your fault.
Oh, my Lord.
Call the police!
They're just stealing his money.
Tony Soprano owes you $320.
Jeez.
I was just watching Borat on cable. 50 times and it's still hilarious. He brings that lady his shit.
Now this is starting to feel like our childhood, I feel like.
You loved it when it came out.
What do you want, Meadow?
How was your exam?
I didn't take it.
Why didn't you take the test?
Because I dropped out, okay?
Whoa.
I'm your sister. You have to talk to me. Is this still about Blanca?
You know, I don't know anymore.
At least he's being honest.
Yeah.
I know how you feel, okay?
You realize we're gonna bomb Iran?
You don't know that.
You watch.
Yeah, he's right.
You need to learn to shut stuff out.
Are you crazy? I mean, do you hear what we're talking about?
You say that, but I come in here and you're surfing the web for porn.
It's not porn.
Al Jazeera?
Don't you ever feel like there's no point to any of this?
Why don't you try setting goals for yourself? Maybe you should move out.
All right, in my condition. I mean, I can't hold a job.
Jesus, AJ, there has to be something you can do.
Look, I'm ill, Meadow. Right? I'm on medication.
Millions of people take Lexapro.
I need Mom's cooking. It could mess with my blood chemistry.
Did Mom and Dad know you dropped out?
You weren't even eating your mom's food.
I took time off, remember? They broke my balls, but it really wasn't so bad.
Of course not. And you're their pet.
We're Italian, EJ. You're their son. Do you have any idea what that means? You'll always be more important.
Yeah. Well, she's got a point there.
You're awake.
What the hell is she making? That hot dog split with mayonnaise in it?
I made Lincoln log sandwiches.
Maybe later.
That looks diabolical, I'm not gonna lie.
I've never had one, so.
Yeah, me too. Never.
I think cream cheese. Is that what you said?
Interesting.
I think it's cream cheese in the middle.
He uncovered the pool? Oh, no.
No way.
No,
Oh, he's
no.
thinking of.
Oh, he's gonna drop cinder blocks into the pool.
No, bro. No.
Someone's got to
No, bro.
find him before he does it.
No. He's not doing it, bro. No.
Jesus.
That's horrible.
God, that's a terrible way to go. Oh, Jesus. Freezing water, too.
Change his mind.
No.
He might still. Tony's gonna find him. Yep. Right. Oh, Tony, I hope.
Please, bro.
Hurry
please,
in
no,
there.
Please, dude.
I hope he makes it in time.
Oh my gosh. No.
All I gotta do is look up. Thank God. Run, Tony, run! He's like, what the shit?
Help! My arm!
And still has the hot dog in his hand.
Hey, Jay, what the f?
Help! Help!
That's crazy.
My leg. It's stuck.
What? What the f did you do? All right, I got you. Stop fighting me. All right, turn around. Grab the side. Grab the side. Right there. All right.
Hold the bag off his head at least.
Is he gonna think that somebody did this to him, or that he did?
No, I think he's gonna figure that he did it to himself. Dude needs to get inside quick. He's probably has hypothermia.
What's wrong with you?
Oh my gosh.
All right. You all right? Come on, baby. You all right, baby? You all right, baby?
I'll get him settled. You can come tomorrow during visiting hours.
Or he's an impatient.
I love you.
I love you too.
He's had a lot of value.
Looks so pale.
Yeah, the makeup's really good.
Yeah.
Thank God Tony got there on time.
Yeah.
Well, he was better for a while.
It's not your fault. You warned us.
She did.
It's gonna be okay.
I remember too what he talked about in therapy. He's like, when your kid is sick, you just want to take it all away.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably feeling that same thing right now.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Think they all heard? Yeah.
All right, let's dispense with the 500-pound elephant in the room, huh? My kid tried to off himself. We all fucking know. Nobody's got nothing to say.
How's he doing, Tom?
Got him under observation. Stupid f***. Where did I lose this kid? What did I do wrong?
Oh, come on.
Don't blame yourself, T.
A lot of pressure on kids today, Tom.
Still to try to kill himself?
It happens, Skip.
Happen to your kids?
My son Patrick, I love him to death. But he could be a moody prick sometimes.
Heather, you know, she was 15. She went through a rough patch.
Jason, same thing. And he's got the hyperactivity to boot.
My son, too. The older one, James.
He tried to kill himself?
No, I don't know. He gets the blues.
The important thing is AJ's getting the help he needs. Whatever it is, it's a chemical imbalance.
It's me. It's all these toxins they're exposed to. It f***s with their brains.
Like asbestos.
Between the mercury and fish alone, it's a wonder there ain't more kids jumping off bridges.
Also, probably one of the most, like, I don't know, as heartwarming as they could be towards each other, I guess.
Yeah.
For lack of a better way to say it.
I can't fucking shake it.
Shake what?
I'm depressed.
Excuse me?
I'm depressed.
Don't you start now.
What does that mean?
It means what it means.
My handheld.
I don't need you adding to it with your bullshit.
Bullshit. It's an illness, and it's fucking hereditary.
Thank you, I know. I am intimately acquainted with the Soprano curse. Father, your uncle, your great-grandfather who drove the donkey cart off the road in Avellino, all of it.
Oh, you think it's a joke?
Am I laughing?
What are you saying?
Good question.
He didn't get it from my family.
Oh, wow. I did not see that coming.
Your father's so bottled up, it's a wonder he's even got a stomach left.
Yeah, as opposed to yours.
At least my father was out front about what was bothering him.
Right, with a bullet through your mother's beehive hairdo.
Oh, I knew it. I was wondering how long it was going to take for you to throw that up at me.
You're amazing, you know that? In high school, you were the happy-go-lucky rascal, the comedian, the rapscallion. But all of that was bullshit, wasn't it?
Poor you. She got married under false pretenses.
You've been playing the depression card until it is worn to shreds. And now you've got our son doing it.
Card?
You heard me.
Oh, so it's all me, huh? Our sonny boy? You had nothing to do with it.
Wears you down, Tony. That's all I'm saying. Do you have any idea what it's like to spend day after day with somebody who is constantly complaining?
Fuck you.
Ooh. Not the new watch.
This feels like it could be a really big session.
Yeah.
It's lucky I came home and heard him.
I meant the botched attempt. On some level, he may have known that the rope was too long to keep him submerged.
Or I could just be a fucking idiot. Historically, that's been the case. Me and Carmen were getting along so good, too.
You think there are other reasons why your son is so unhappy?
Got the world by the balls. Every fucking advantage. And he hits one little pothole, he goes in hysterics. She coddled him, his mother. I said it before. Every little problem, she's right there to pick him up and wipe off his tears on her apron strings.
Children need to feel safe.
I'm sure that made him into the man he is today.
Are you ashamed of him?
Yeah, actually, I am. Coward's way out. Know what they call it?
I think whoever said that didn't understand depression.
Good point.
But you do, don't you?
Whew. You flip that table on him real quick.
How long do I have to stay here?
Dr. Vogel thinks it might be a good idea for the time being. Just take a time out.
Like I'm in preschool?
Did the actress look familiar?
Did you eat today?
I had some turkey. It had no flavor at all.
I'll bring some chicken parm tomorrow.
I don't think that's allowed, on account of all the bulimic girls.
So it's front row mezzanine at Grey Gardens, and the guy says that
Excuse me.
Oh, Jesus.
Tony Sopranos kid, right?
Oh, no.
Oh?
Small world running into you like this, huh?
I'm sorry, do I know you?
Yeah, you got a little cream on your mouth there, sweetie. Be happy to add to it.
What?
Excuse me.
Lucky guy, her dad. Must be fun tucking her in at night, huh?
Do you have a problem?
Not yet. Would you like one?
We'll go. Come on.
What? I'm saying hello.
Come on, let's go.
Hey, best to your dad, huh?
That was
Jesus Christ.
strange.
I feel like that's definitely crossing a line.
Yeah.
Of course.
Tony might go berserk.
Don't say anything.
I feel like this is something I don't even know how do you deal with the situation. Do you tell him? Do you not?
What's the matter?
Nothing.
What?
Do you know a guy named Coco?
Why?
She was out on a date last night, and he came over and pulled some crap.
What? How?
We were in the city, Little Italy, and we were having dessert, and he came up out of nowhere and just started saying all this weird stuff.
What kind of weird stuff?
How he'd like to tuck me in at night.
Tuck you in?
I'd smell the sambuca on his breath.
I was drunk.
Yeah.
What exactly did he say?
He came up to us, and he asked me if I was your daughter, and then he said I had whipped cream on my mouth.
Yeah? What else did he say?
Oh, he's gonna pull a gasket, bro.
His body language.
Yeah.
He's tensing up.
It's all right. It's okay. He's an idiot. But he's harmless. I'll talk to somebody.
So, this boy you're dating, this man, who is he?
Can you promise not to start with an inquisition?
Will you stop with all the secrecy, please?
It's Patrick Parisi, okay?
Ooh.
Oh, yikes.
That's exactly why I didn't want to tell you guys and why he didn't tell Uncle Patsy.
Wow.
I thought he... Where are you going?
Meeting. Sell.
We have Vogel later, don't forget.
Uh-oh.
Is he gonna go kill both of them now?
I've decided not to go to med school.
What?
It's just too hard.
Isn't anything that's worthwhile?
Oh, you have no idea.
Of course not.
Don't get sarcastic. I really think it's law for me. You should hear Patrick talk about the justice system and what it means. It's really inspiring.
She's like, lawyers have it easier than doctors.
It's interesting, though, because
Both are hard.
Oh, she's seeing Elliot.
You?
Obviously, Sheila resents me. I'm dating her father. The transference to me of her issues with her mom.
How long until he asks about...
Patient says maybe I should put my shoe up her ass.
Yeah, there you go.
Which patient of mine says that?
Mine, Elliot. Your favorite patient of mine?
I was thinking he was going to bring it up.
Ran into Nancy Duggan last week. You know Nancy?
Vaguely.
She's on staff at Rikers Island, works with a lot of sociopaths, as you can imagine. Anyway, she told me something interesting. A lot of studies about talk therapy as it relates to sociopaths and criminals. One of them is the criminal personality, conducted by Yoshelson at St. Elizabeth's. Essentially, it concludes that talk therapy, while not only being useless with sociopaths, actually serves to validate them.
Huh.
Yoshelson says they sharpen their skills as con men on their therapists.
Interesting.
Crocodile tears, what have you.
Why are you smirking?
I'm not.
I didn't see a smirk.
The 1-year reconviction rates were higher for offenders in therapy than for those receiving no treatment at all.
But that's none of my business.
Oh boy.
Eesh.
Oh.
Whoa! Sit down. Sit down. Easy.
Oh, he's just pistol whipping him. Whoa.
Tony, you're making a big fucking mistake here. I'm gonna put a bullet in your fucking head, huh?
Oh my...
Don't do it!
I don't even want to
brutal.
Gosh.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh.
I've never seen that in my life.
Jawbreaker. Oh.
I mean, he's dead, right? Like,
Yeah.
definitely dead.
I would guess.
You know, it's always what you think, isn't it?
Just chilling here after this fucking...
Oh, poor you. It's all your mother's fault, isn't it?
I didn't say that.
You're a mama's boy.
You're gonna call me names now?
No one is calling anyone any names.
How about my confirmation? You called me an animal.
I did not.
I was in the garage, and you said, what kind of animal smokes marijuana at his confirmation?
He was using illegal drugs in the home.
Did it ever occur to you that I might have been self-medicating?
Give me a break, will you?
He would hole up in that room for hours.
Because I was never really secure expressing my feelings in that house. That's why.
What kind of poem is that to teach college students?
Would you like to tell your parents what your grandmother said?
Dad's mom.
Had to be.
What'd she say?
That it's all a big nothing.
What is?
Life.
I was her, all right.
Okay, fine. She said those kinds of things.
She sat up in bed when she could hardly move. She could hardly breathe. She said in the end that your friends and family let you down and that you die in your own arms.
Carmine's here trying to make Peacemaker.
The reason I'm here, you could probably guess.
What happened at Coco's restaurant?
This alteration you had with him.
Alteration. Yeah, right.
Phil's considering shutting down the Hackensack Mall project with the plumbing strike as we speak.
Let him.
Easy for you. I have the scaffolding contract.
Oh, is that what this is about, Carmine? What do I owe you?
Come on, huh? You know me better than that.
My daughter. Carmine, my daughter. You got a little girl.
You almost killed the guy.
I should have killed him.
He not dead.
But I held myself back.
You were being prudent.
F that. I lost it. Timing couldn't have been worse, but what the f?
So you go to Phil. I go with you. Hats in hand. Bended knees.
Oh. I don't know if you guys are catching the song choice in the background as well. I'm caught in a trap. I can't walk out.
Why me, huh? Doesn't every parent make mistakes?
Why not you?
Because I'm a good guy, basically.
Basically is awesome.
There's a balance. There's a yin and a yang.
She's going to be hesitant now. She's just going to let him talk to himself.
Yeah, maybe.
You think you know. You think you learned something, like when I got shot.
Know what?
All right. When I was in Las Vegas, took peyote.
You were searching for something.
Well, I saw some things. Not things per se, hallucinations, Roger Corman shit. It's kind of disappointing. There wasn't any of that.
What was there?
Kind of hard to describe. I mean, you've done it, right? Acid, shit like that?
No.
All I can say is I saw for pretty certain that everything we see and experience, is not all there is.
So an afterlife?
Alternate universes?
Maybe. This is gonna sound stupid, but I saw at one point that our mothers are the bus drivers.
Interesting.
No, they are the bus. See, they're the vehicle that gets us here. They drop us off and go on their way. They continue on their journey. And the problem is that we keep trying to get back on the bus instead of just letting it go.
It's very insightful.
Jesus, don't act so surprised. You have these thoughts and you almost grab it. And then...
So they're actually going.
Phil is not accepting visitors right now.
I just talked to him on the phone, Butchie.
Well, I just talked to him in person. He ain't seeing nobody.
What's going on, Butch? I just brokered this thing. He came here to make a peace offering. A semi-trailer of drills, Makitas.
We don't want your fucking drills.
Let's go.
Wonder why.
That's right, cocksucker. Go back to New Jersey.
Phil, what are you doing?
Take that piece of shit and get off my stoop.
But we just talked about this.
Well, cooler heads prevailed.
Uncle Philly.
Uncle Philly, my ass.
Will you just come down so we can discuss this?
There's nothing left to discuss, Carmine.
I don't understand. Why is he like this?
Interesting. I'm not shocked that he doesn't want to broker a deal, but like, why would he say he does and then change his mind?
Right.
Delicious.
Oh, he's getting the pizza. Like
oh, yeah. Just like that one episode.
Yeah.
No food in the unit, sir.
They probably don't let you have food. Well, some of the stuff that he's talking about, eating disorders, but the other reason is probably because it can be laced with stuff and they probably have addicts in there. It's a really good episode.
It was. That was a lot.
Yeah.
It was really heavy. And I think there was just, it's a very vulnerable episode. And wow. I think what I want to start on about is AJ's attempt and getting to where we got to now with AJ, and starting with how it seems like when he started going to school, he started to get a lot more influences and read more, gain more knowledge. And I'm wondering, Abe, if there was an effect on that, and how did that develop? Or if something stood out to you, specifically with him reading, I think it was The Second Coming, which is a poem, I believe. If there is any correlation with that, if you saw something there, what did you see of this development with AJ's character?
Yeah, I'd love to go back and see what the actual contents of the literature was, because there was a voiceover there, and I probably missed some of it on the first watch. But I do feel like there's a little bit of AJ that, like, he doesn't connect intellectually to, like, math, science, English, or anything like that. But in some cases, the things that he like clings to is like the things that like bring despair and that kind of thing. It feels like when he sees like ugliness in the world, or he sees something that's like heavy or hopeless, he like clings to that, and somehow it just like affects him a ton more. Oh yeah, Charlie has it up here. The Second Coming by William Butler Yeats. It says, turning and turning in the widening gyre. The falcon cannot hear the falconer. Things fall apart. The center cannot hold. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. The blood-dimmed tide is loosed in everywhere. The ceremony of innocence is drowned. The best lack all conviction, while the worst are full of passionate intensity. That's what it said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before the stupid pop-up came up.
Surely some revelation is at hand. Surely the second coming is at hand. The second coming. Hardly are the words out when a vast image out of Spiritus Mundi troubles my sight somewhere in the sands of the desert. A shape with lion body and the head of a man. A gaze blank and pitiless as the sun. Pitiless as the sun. Is moving its slow thighs while all about it. Real shadows of the indignant desert birds. The darkness drops again. But now I know that 20 centuries of stony sleep were vexed to nightmare by rocking cradle. And what rough beast its hour come round at last slouches towards Bethlehem to be born. Yeah, it's dark. It's a very like existential type of poem, and we've seen him deal with some of these like existential sort of crises, right? Mm-hmm. I think it's referencing like the Second Coming. This is talking about like being very rife with Christian imagery, very apocalyptic. And I think part of the Second Coming is like in this poem anyways, like representing like, when will Christ return to make everything better? Like we see the darkness of the world. We see people dying consistently. We see in this episode, AJ's referencing, we're going to bomb Iran. Bush is going to bomb Iran. You see people dying left, right, and center. And like, what is all the point of this? And, in biblical terms, the second coming is when Christ returns. And kind of heals the world in a sense, in very broad sense. And I think that in some way, maybe his attempt, AJ's attempt, was just a cry for help, but it also was like a way, I guess, like speed up the second coming or speed up this life that he feels is like consistently filled with despair and nothing else.
Yeah.
So I think that was the message that I got with this is like he is consistently filled with despair, and he has nothing really to live for anymore. I think that Tony has some of that too, but he distracts himself with other things to help him get past some of the depression and the darkness that he sees in his life.
Yeah. I pulled up like a summary, like an explanation of the poem, and it's saying the poem suggests that the end times are already happening because humanity has lost all sense of morality. And perhaps that this morality was only an illusion to begin with. So it's like, maybe AJ's thinking like, well, this is the end already. So
yeah, I mean,
why should I still?
Why am I still here, lingering and suffering?
Yeah, and it goes back to what he calls back what Livia said to him. Right? It's like at the end, you die in your own arms. Your friends and your family, they leave you.
It's all nothing.
It's all nothingness.
Right.
There really is no point to any of this, which is a really, really dark thought for a child to hear. But he held on to that, and you could tell.
He did, and that's something that we've been talking about. We've been talking about AJ since the beginning of the season. Is like, what is his purpose? Like, what, can he find his purpose? And we've seen that throughout this entire series. That's something that he's always struggled, and it amounted to this, and it's just really heartbreaking to see, but also how true it is to a lot of people who struggle with this, and it's just, man, it's just really sad. It's just a really, really sad moment in the season.
I think I saw something too, and I don't know if you guys were picking up on this as well, but we had Melfi's therapist talking about how therapy is basically useless for sociopaths. And then we also went and had like a family therapy session, and AJ is like trying to give all these like excuses and stuff, and Tony's seeing right through it and calling him out on his bullshit. And I feel for me, at least, it seemed like it was one sociopath recognizing potentially another sociopath's like bullshit.
I know your game
and
because I've done it.
Yeah. And so, like, could AJ also be a sociopath? He's getting that from his dad. You know, is the therapy kind of like fueling all of this for him as well?
Yeah, I would. I agree with you. Although I would take the sociopath out of it because I mean, obviously Tony didn't hear that part of the conversation and all of that. But I do think it's like, I understand your depression and I use the same tactics that you do to try to deflect and blame others for it. And I think that is what we definitely saw that in this scene, to your point. Is where he was just kind of like throwing things out there and trying to see if it sticks as like blame. But then when he brought up Livia, Tony did admit, he's like, that's her for you. And
that's what she does. Yeah.
I think that is one thing that he also had mentioned in therapy. You know, at the beginning of his therapy, a lot of time was spent on his mother, his relationship with his mother, and how that maybe resulted in some of the anxiety and depression that he faces based on his upbringing. And so when AJ said that, I think it also struck a chord with him about how significant some of their family upbringing was in, I don't want to say developing their depression, but contributing to it.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of that final moment with him going to see AJ? He puts his arm around him and attempts to bring the pizza, which is a callback to prior seasons where that's something that they've always bonded on, is like food together and spending that father-son time. Did something specifically stand out in that moment? I thought it was just a very emotional moment to see it again and go full circle.
I mean, they both kind of look dead in that moment. Tony's kind of walking towards it like lifeless, doesn't even bother to try to argue about bringing the pizza in. Probably figures as well that even if he does bring it in, AJ's going to say something about the chemicals and whatever that he's been obsessing with lately. So maybe better off not even bringing it in. But I feel like they're both like in a similar mental state. And so I think him bringing the pizza is just him being like, I understand you, sort of thing.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a peace offering.
That too, yeah. But also, I think he understands him because also he went and tried to tell Carmela that he's feeling depressed, and she shut it down.
Yeah.
Because she can't take that stress anymore, right? That's what I think Carmela was trying to express in that moment, was like...
I think she did a bad job of it, but yeah.
Yeah. She was just overwhelmed, and she's like, don't bring that out on me. You know, I'm dealing with too much of the depression stuff lately. And I feel like they, as parents, had a similar reaction to AJ this whole time, who's been kind of cry for help, and they're kind of like, get over it, blah, 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 whatever, move on. And Meadow was the only one who tried to warn them. They didn't really listen, I guess, and you have the result of what we saw. Thankfully, Tony got him in time. But there was that other thing too that Melfi had mentioned. It was like very brief. She was like, maybe he knew that the rope was too long to, you know, actually like pull him in and drown him.
So maybe it was just a cry for help.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, really? Do you think so? Do you think it was that calculated? Maybe not.
It could be.
It's interesting. It's very interesting.
And the fact that he was like screaming out for help after all that stuff. This is a heavy episode in general, because I do think that there was a level of this. Like, I don't think that truly Tony even understood how he was feeling in that moment, right? Because like his initial disposition towards this was like anger towards AJ when he finds him. He's like, "What the hell did you do?
Right? Like,
are you an idiot?" Blah blah blah. But he pulls him out, and like all of a sudden, like the dad instinct takes over him, where he's like, "You're fine, like my baby, my baby." And it was so hard to watch, but it also, you know, I think we mentioned it when we were watching, but like called back to when he had told Melfi, it's like when your kid is hurting so bad, and as a parent, you just like want to take it away. Like when your kid's sick, you would just trade places with them. And I think that there's an element of him blaming himself, and we can see a little bit, you know, when he says things, the things that he like truly believes and the things that he doesn't. Like when he was saying, you know, the coward's way out. And Melfi says something I think is pretty significant. It's like, sounds like that's an expression that someone who doesn't understand depression would think. but you understand depression. And it's like this thing that you just cannot shake no matter what. Just like a cloud.
And then it follows up with, sorry, this episode just, it was heavy, but it's just like following with that scene. We get Tony coming back the following morning, and he sits down at the coffee table, and he goes, "I'm depressed. Like, I can't. Like, I also feel it too." What, like, that moment I think also very significant, because I think Tony was also, coming into terms with his own emotions as well, and I thought that was a very huge moment as well for his development, what we've seen so far.
I'm remembering potentially some symbolism here. The first time that we've actually heard AJ cry for help was him in the backyard by the pool with the bear.
Yeah,
when the bear was there too, he thought he was going to attack him or whatever.
He was calling mommy.
Yeah. And then this time he was just like, anybody help.
Somebody.
And then, our audience has told us like Tony is the bear figure, whatever. The bear is the one who came to save him. I don't know. I guess you can determine a bunch of stuff there, but I think it's interesting symbolism. Also, like, if you think way back to what the pool used to represent to Tony and stuff, there was his place of peace where he would like chill out, relax, decompress.
Yeah.
The ducks, he would love to see the ducks there. And now it's just like, just represents like darkness, death.
Yeah, I think it's a life and death, like rebirth. The general symbolism of water, but which we have seen in this show multiple times.
And also, it hasn't been like summer or spring in this show for a very long time. We've been in like winter or whatever, and everything's just like dead, gray.
Yeah.
All that for a while, I feel like, except for the times when they like go to Florida or whatever, or Vegas. But back home, it's always dark and gloomy, and I don't know.
Yeah, I'm thinking back to the part that Davi you talked about with where after the incident happens and Tony is in his robe and he's telling Carmela that he's depressed. Like, I was sitting there watching that argument, and I couldn't tell if either of them was like in the right, or like if either of them had like their perspective was the right perspective, because in some way it could have felt in that moment like Tony was like also crying out for help and being like, this stuff is so hard, I'm depressed, and like this is such a hard moment for me as a dad, and I'm coming to you like saying this, right? But we also understand that sometimes he deflects responsibility for things and doesn't always step up as a father and all of that stuff.
Right.
So to me, I think Carmela was pissed off at that moment because she was saying like, I need you to step in and take control of this moment and like be a father and support your child who's clearly depressed, and I can't have you also doing the same thing. But on the other flip side of that, it felt very dismissive of his feelings, felt very dismissive of his condition in general. And I walked away from that just being like, damn, I really don't know who to, if I was supposed to side with anybody, I don't think I could in that argument.
Well, I think that's the first time that we've ever seen Tony say, I'm depressed as well. To Carmela, to anybody, be like, yeah, I'm down in dumps. But also,
I do think he said it before, but yeah,
I don't know if he's ever
the way that he said it was like,
directly.
Yeah, he just
he was very direct about it. But at the same time, like, was it also, like you were saying, was it a cry for help as well?
Yeah,
type of thing, or not a cry for help, but like seeking pity, whatever, all that stuff, attention seeking.
Yeah, and I think that we see a bit of a result of his unchecked emotions in this, right? Like with the whole Coco situation, that happened after AJ's incident. Mm-hmm. So I think that like there's just this level of him that is a father that like wants to be able to protect his children, and not being able to do so is like causing him to be even more just like reckless and violent. And I think that's why he reacted the way that he did with that guy.
Yeah.
Because of what he did to Meadow. And it's so volatile. It's like scary to watch, but on another level, you can kind of understand where those emotions come from and why he's reacting the way that he did.
Yeah.
But he even admits it later on when he's talking to little Carmine. He's like, I was reckless. I was out of my mind, essentially, like way too violent.
Yeah.
And I wonder if he's recognizing like that because of his similarity to AJ in the condition, could that be something that AJ also is like, right? Like we've seen, I mean, he hasn't seen it, but we have seen AJ be in these moments where he's aiding and abetting people, beating the shit out of people, torturing people, putting acid on their feet. Guy who brought, this kid is the kid who brought a knife to the nursing home to, attempt assassinating Uncle Junior.
Right.
So there's things there that make me draw parallels between like both of them and their depression and potentially their, I want to say lust for violence, but like propensity towards violence in their depressive states.
Yeah. I also see like the AJ in his therapy session, his therapist was like talking about all the subjects and stuff he's learning and taking. He was like, you seem to take this stuff very personally.
Mm-hmm.
And Tony does the same thing.
Yeah.
And so like, even when it was like an insult towards Meadow, whatever, he took it personally and he went and attacked the guy. Yeah, all of it. Even with AJ. And but the other thing too is that like he takes it personally and tries to make it about himself at the same time.
Mm-hmm. And both of them do that.
Yeah, both of them do that. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that was potentially his motive for the whole "I'm depressed" thing towards Carmela.
Yeah.
Because it was like, damn, our son's suffering, but so am I. I'm here. Hi. Could have been that.
Yeah.
That's how I'm choosing to see it for now.
Yeah.
But yeah, this episode was dark.
Very,
Very
dark.
dark. With like 2 more to go. Like I wonder if
It seems like I'm getting a feeling that it's just gonna get darker and darker, or it's gonna stay in this tone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm not. This is gonna hurt.
Yeah.
It seems like it's gonna hurt a lot more
Yeah.
as we proceed with these final 2 episodes.
Yeah, and just one small critique. Where's the FBI?
We saw them.
We saw them. They were in this episode.
Were they in this episode?
Yeah, they were.
He's talking about the 2 Arab guys that he was informing on.
That's a whole different. Those guys are totally different. Those guys aren't FBI. I thought they were police, right? Or are they FBI? I don't know.
I mean, they're talking about terrorism. So
yeah, because they got promoted to a different division, the terrorist division. Before they were like different.
I think
cops,
they are.
or whatever.
I think they are FBI though.
Yeah, but they're not the ones who are like mainly conducting the stuff on Tony and the whole crew and everything.
Yeah,
I'm just curious because that storyline feels like it just got.
Yeah, it's
tossed.
been a long time since we've seen them in general, but I think it's purposeful right now to make you think that the conflict is really only internal.
Yeah.
Because right now it's very clear that it's a Phil versus Tony arc.
Yeah. Oh well.
What are you guys thinking about that dynamic and how it's going? Seems like Phil is now becoming more and more colder. He's not, compromising for anything anymore.
Mm-hmm.
He does not want to talk. He doesn't want to communicate. It seems like he has his way and it has to be his way. If it's not, then forget about it. And Charlie, you pointed out the moment where Tony was talking to Carmine, and the song that was on.
It was Elvis.
It was Elvis.
Yeah, it was like I'm caught in a trap.
Caught in a trap.
I can't walk out.
And
something like that. Yeah, I feel like that's Tony. He's stuck in a trap right now of like the business dealings. He can't budge with Phil. Phil's not willing to compromise on anything. He's also got his son who tried to kill himself. His daughter's being attacked by some creep. Everything's going to shit. Christopher just died. He killed him. He's responsible for his death.
Yeah,
it's a lot of craziness going on. So I feel like he's stuck in this trap and doesn't really seem like anybody's really got his back either.
Yeah,
because like I don't know, like his guys are just all hanging out, playing pool, doing whatever, and it feels like Tony's the only one dealing with all this crap in the background.
Yeah.
So it almost feels like he's been abandoned, but I don't know, because we haven't really like gotten to see Tony's crew do stuff for a little bit. I feel like mostly they're showing us like Phil's crew.
Yeah. I mean, we saw Tony's crew a bit in this one, and they were a little bit sympathetic towards the incident with AJ, and I just think that in this moment, as much as they're trying to make him feel better, like none of them actually relate to him in that way, and they can't empathize with him because they haven't been in his shoes as a father with somebody who's taken an attempt on their life, and I think that he is searching for that help, right? I just think back to the one scene that he had with Melfi where he was given the analogy of the mothers, and the mothers are buses. And I'm so curious what you guys thought of that, because for me, it felt a little bit like he was talking about, our mothers, they're the ones who do everything to be able to get us here, but we're always trying to go back. We're always trying to cling on to something, or to, go back to the way that things were or something like that, when we're really just supposed to, I guess, move on. And I don't know if that was a callback specifically to him and his relationship with his mother, and the fact that he's was trying to make things work with her but on some level and never was able to. Or if it was just thinking that, there was a part of life that was really, really good, and you're just trying to go back to it. But you're spending so much time thinking about the good old days that you can't focus on the future in front of you. I don't know. But I thought that part was super, super interesting, and kind of reflective. But I didn't know if you guys had a certain feeling one way or the other about that.
I think it was kind of, I think him, when he was saying oh, you always try to get back on the bus. I think maybe we're always trying to find our mother again in someone else, potentially.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
And he's trying to find that in Carmela. Maybe trying to find that in the
women that he's
Mars that he has. Yeah. And he hasn't been able to find that, whatever it is, really.
Yeah, I saw it as a comfort. It's
yeah,
trying to find some sort of comfort again.
Yeah. And the moment where he was looking for comfort from Carmela, she didn't give it to him. And so I feel and I'm referring to the I'm depressed thing, so I think that's what maybe he's talking about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But for Tony's situation, it's interesting that, that he potentially might look at it that way, because his situation with his mother wasn't good. Didn't have a good relationship with her. Doesn't have a great relationship with his wife either. So I think he's constantly trying to find something that he's never had before.
Yeah. Yeah, I think sorry, I was reading a Reddit thread real quick just on what people thought about that, and somebody was saying that essentially they think in that moment his relationship with his mom that he's been trying to reconcile this entire time, he's reduced it now to my mother was a bus. She served one purpose. It was to get me to this world. And the whole purpose of it after the fact is the bus and the bus driver will not care about you after that. It's on you to kind of fend for yourself.
Okay, so it's getting you
to their destination.
To the destination, leaving you there. The bus is not going to come back to pick you up.
Correct.
But he says you're always trying to get back on the bus.
Get back on the bus.
And you're trying to get back on the bus. And it's you're trying to go and search for help for somebody who's not coming back for you, for a vehicle that has forgotten about you and that has no route to getting back to you. And maybe he's feeling a little bit that way, and he's wondering if AJ feels that way, or if his family feels that way, maybe.
I wonder if it's also maybe a little bit of you try to get back on the bus as not being delivered. Your mother doesn't deliver you. You're not brought into this
or you
world.
don't I was gonna say from
you're not born. You know, just like escaping life in general. I don't know.
I was gonna say from the perspective of like you know, the bus drops you off and you don't think you've gotten to your destination yet, so you're running after that bus, being like, no, I have to go here, right. But it's up to you at that point to bring yourself to the right destination.
Like, your mom has already chosen that destination. Now it's up to you. Like
exactly.
You know.
Yeah, a lot of interesting
Could
reflections.
read into it.
There's a lot.
In many ways.
Yeah.
I was more comfortable in the womb. Let me go back.
Yeah.
Anything. Like so many things. Yeah. I think this episode was very deep with symbolisms and all that stuff.
This one would be a super interesting rewatch. Like this is one I feel like I'll have to come back to.
Yeah. Definitely have to rewatch this one. It was just really heavy though. I don't know if I could.
Yeah.
I don't think I can show any of that sequence. Like I have to blur everything out.
Yeah, most likely.
I think I would.
Yeah.
Just to be safe.
Yep.
But with that being said, y'all, thank you so much for watching and listening to this reaction. See you soon for more Tony Tuesday. Stay beautiful, y'all.
See ya.